Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts.
Hello and welcome back to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where we weren't even in town that weekend, so we are definitely not pregnant. My name is Matt. With me as always, Bill Barber. How's it going, Bill?
It's going. I could not sleep for shit last night, so I am exhausted. I've had multiple energy drinks, coffee, and I'm running off of pure energy drink at this point. Other than that, though, it's fine. We're recording on a Sunday, so the week's pretty much over. Getting into the next week.
Yeah, we were originally planning on recording Friday, but Thursday night I came down with the worst bug I've had since it's been over 10 years, and it was bad, man. I had the shakes and everything. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to push it and try to record on Friday, even though I was mostly okay by that point. I didn't want to push it. Which is kind of it's kind of sad though, because I knew that Saturday and Sunday were both going to be so nice. I didn't want to have to record when it's such a nice day, But
yeah. That's why we're recording so late, because I had stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been crazy. Just getting through stuff. May's a weird month. It's always been weird.
I wasn't expecting it to get this hot in May.
It's been a weird year, because it's pretty much still felt like winter up until this week, and now it's suddenly.
Yeah. I mean, we had some little bursts of mid 60-degree weather, occasionally hitting 70. Then all of a sudden it was just hey, real feel 90. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, we had that one week where it was kind of a false hope, and then it just all of a sudden went back to being fucking freezing every day again. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Happens. Finally back to that. I did all my yard work yesterday. I got all my patio furniture out again. Cleaned my garage. Finally did all that. Basically, I did all the shit that's been piling up over the winter. Finally get that done.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Getting ready for the the proper season.
Yeah. No, and then I mostly yesterday I caught up on the anime, and I mostly read. I've been doing a lot of reading. Been on kind of a comic
Same,
kick.
Actually. I've been doing a lot of reading too. I finished Dungeon Proletaro, which was a trip. It was a fucking trip. I can't even get into trying to explain the kind of shit that happens in that book. It's wild. I'll probably gonna continue reading it, but staggered. I don't want to just read them all back to back.
Yeah.
I am also still in the middle of a comic kick. I actually read the Nightwing.
Oh, Leaping into the Light.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That is one that I actually think that I do want to continue. And I think there's actually there's stuff before that too, right? It's
there sure is, but all right. Here's where I explain Nightwing lore and how DC hated Nightwing for.
They talked a lot about him getting shot in the head, which we've talked about a little bit before.
Oh yeah, that. So let me talk about the bizarre history of Nightwing and how the former co-publisher of DC had an absolute vendetta against this guy. So Dick's been through a lot over the years. He was obviously had his landmark Nightwing run back in the 90s into the 2000s. Became Batman for a little bit when Bruce was quote unquote dead. Then went back to Nightwing. Had a decent New 52 run. The red suit was weird, but other than that, the run was fine. Then he, in one of Dan DiDio's first attempts at ruining the character, they had him get unmasked publicly and basically ruin his ability to be a hero anymore.
Mhm.
And then they made him a super spy.
Okay.
It sounds stupid, but then they decide to put a really good writing team on it, and the book ends up being really good. So
All right.
that attempt failed. Then the rebirth era happens. They put him back in the blue because he hadn't been in the blue for like a while, pretty much the entire New 52 era. Put him back in the blue. They kept the writing, like one of the main writer from the Grayson series, because that was the name of his spy series, which is called Grayson.
Mhm.
Put him back in the blue. That writer had a decent run, like pretty good, like good at getting the character kind of back to where he needed to be.
Mhm.
Then they kind of switched through a couple of writers, and then they decided to murder the character again by having him get shot in the head in a Batman storyline, which apparently wasn't supposed to be that big of a deal. It was supposed to be just kind of like a short-lived thing, but then editorial decided, no, we're gonna make this the new status quo for 2 fucking years, and it was rough. It was really rough. He wasn't. He was no longer Dick Grayson. He was Rick Grayson, and he was basically he had no memory of being Nightwing or who he was, but he would have these weird like night terrors and shit. It was bad. Like it was really bad. But thankfully, Nightwing fans are very dedicated, and they basically all banded together and kept the book alive for that 2-year span.
Mhm.
And then that was finally over, and they gave the book to Tom Taylor, who started the legendary Tom Taylor run that started Leaping into the Light, which was the perfect run that character needed for getting him back to where he needed to be. And it's really good. And then the current Dan Waters run is also really good.
That's good.
But yeah, the Rick Grayson stuff is a trip.
That sounds pretty silly.
I own every fucking single from that, and my god, it was miserable. But we kept on through because goddamn, we had to keep. You can't let Dick Grayson or Wally West die because they are the heart and soul of DC.
Yeah, but you know it's funny too. Like as I was reading through it, like I kept having these moments of like, wow, like I realized that like Dick Grayson, like as a character, is like one of those like, you know, almost put on a pedestal kind of characters. But like as I'm going through the book, I'm like, wow, even in universe, he's like everybody's golden boy. He's like everyone's perfect boy. He's like the first son of a new generation. Like
so his first run in the Rebirth era, like the first arc, was literally called Better Than Batman. Which, to be fair, like when Dick was Batman, the couple times he's been Batman, he's generally pretty good at it. No, he's a great character, and that run is phenomenal, especially the fucking art. Like Bruno Redondo's art is like some of those page layouts. You look at them and you just go, "Wow!"
For sure.
I will say though, if you do want to read the run continuing on, I'm not sure how much of the compact holds, but the volume that's called Volume 2 in the actual trades is technically the third volume because there was a event called Fear State that kind of happened in between the two, Volume 1 and 2. That's technically the second part because that happened in between. It's confusing. That one, the volume. That's the reason why they stopped putting volume numbers on the side of these things because they never make sense.
Yeah, I did notice that there was like a weird gap, like because when you look at like the copyright page of these, it'll usually say like issues blank out of blank, or blank through blank rather.
Actually, I want to look at that
for each individual one, but for that one there was a gap. It was like I don't remember the exact numbers, so I'm just throwing out numbers, but it was like 87 through 91 and then like 94 through 98 or something like that. It wasn't, those aren't the actual numbers, but that's just an example. Like there was like a little few issues of a gap there.
Yeah, I'm curious to know this now because I wonder if they just skipped Fear State in there, which is annoying because Fear State actually is pretty decent run. Let me see here. DC Compact Edition. Let's see. Okay, so it has it contains all of Leaping into the Light and Get Grayson, which is Volume 2. Okay, so it skipped Fear State. That's why.
Okay. Gotcha.
You don't need Fear State, but it is technically part of that run.
Yeah, well, in the context of the story, it was trying to tell in that one compact. It didn't feel like I was missing anything. You know,
you miss out on getting
like he might have had like an epiphany about what he wanted to do with all the money that Alfred left him, like during that middle point. But it didn't really need to be there for the story to flow.
Oh yeah, what was your reaction to Alfred being dead?
Like right at the beginning too. It's like, what? Really?
He's been dead for a while. Like he died at the end of Tom King's Batman run, which was like 2018, I think. He's been dead for a bit, and I'm actually surprised he's still dead, to be honest.
And it was honestly like because there was like a flashback scene at one point where it was getting into John Kent, like when he like got lost as a kid or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's
and,
from
the entire Justice League did like a fucking search party and looking for him like all across the planet. And
yeah, that's
Batman and Superman were having like the whole like parenting conversation, and that was just like such a cute moment, like between Batman and Superman. Like Batman's just like, yeah, so Alfred told me that he sometimes peeks into my room while I'm sleeping just to check if I'm breathing, which is such a relatable thing as a parent. Yeah. And then like the Bat group chat is fucking great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the fact that Batman is the one who got all these people together, and they're all like such there's Dad over there being Dad, but everyone's just like so chipper and happy. Like, we have the most functional family ever. Our dad's just weird though.
see the downside to not including Fear State is you don't get the whole Jason Todd like retelling of his backstory. Because you also get to see the wondrous era where Jason Todd was running around with a crowbar because he's dealing with his issues in a weird way.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I mean, Jason Todd is kind of the troubled one, so from what I understand.
Depending on the writer. The writers have no idea what to do with Jason Todd, I swear to God.
But I really enjoyed that, and that is one that, like, once I finished like catching up with all the compacts and start really diving into the trades, that is definitely one that I'm going to pursue continuing.
Oh yeah, because doesn't like Wally shows up like in the middle of that run too? Because Wally and Dick have like the greatest bromance in all of comics.
Well, as soon as they found out that a hit was put out at Dick Grayson and not Nightwing, like everyone came together. Like with the point when he meets his sister, and Barbara realizes like, oh, he's been taken in there or whatever, and like literally everyone shows up, including Batman. Like, we're gonna go get this motherfucker. Like,
yeah.
And but yeah, Wally West is like, he's in it probably more than anybody else as far as like the guest appearances go.
So out of deep comic lore, like Dick Grayson and Wally West are like best friends. Like they've since like the Teen Titans era.
It's been made very clear in this run.
Yeah.
Also,
they had to fix that because fucking DC decided to nuke Wally out of existence for so many years.
I forget his name. What, KG Beast?
Oh yeah, the guy that shot him in the head.
The guy that shot him in the head. They called him Anatoly. This isn't supposed, like, obviously it's a separate continuity and it's all different, but this isn't the same Anatoly from Arrow, is it? Like, that's not who it's supposed to be, right? Like the dude that got Oliver initiated in the Bratva, like in Arrow.
It might be, honestly. DC's continuity is fucked. So
I think that's more like a CW just like doing their own thing with all the characters and stuff.
Well, you also got to remember too, Arrow started during New 52 era, so they kind of have shit's wacky.
But like that's a thing. Like, as I'm going through a lot of these comics, like there's a lot of characters that I don't always know when a character is original to the CW shows or when they're from the comics. So whenever I see a name like that, I'm like, oh, maybe,
Yeah, when it comes to the comics, like continuity shit, sometimes you just have to take it with a grain of salt because, it can be a fucking Wikipedia night of just trying to figure this shit out. Also,
I did not know that Supergirl movie was coming out like next month.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't realize it was so close.
You got a plan for that.
And apparently there's also a movie being made for The Authority, which I hadn't heard of until I found the compact for it. But
I'm not. Is that still happening? I swear He hasn't
From
mentioned
I was
anything.
looking into the upcoming projects, and it was obviously the Supergirl movie, Clayface, and then The Authority was the other one that I saw on there.
I'll have to look into that.
So I'm not sure. And there's gonna be what the his Batman is gonna be called the Brave and the Bold, I believe. So
If they do that, there's still
well, there's gonna be a Batman
yeah.
if the universe continues. There's gonna be a Batman. It's
There's
probably
going to
gonna
be a
happen
Batman. It's just
sooner
kind of
rather than later.
it's going to be this case was do they want to have two dueling Batmans because the Batman 2 is coming out eventually. So
I mean, they're already doing a movie about one of Batman's villains, so
which
it'd be
apparently
kind of silly of
started
them not to.
production in the Matt Reeves verse, but it's been absorbed into the Gunverse. So I don't know.
Because he just liked the script so much.
Yeah, we'll have to see because I know Pattison said that he really wants to work with David Cornsweet. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming for DC. Also, I had an epiphany recently because I was thinking about it. I'm like, why is it that like so many people from our generation were fans of DC, and to some greater or lesser degree continue to be this today, but like so many of the kids now, it's all about Marvel.
Well,
And I mean, obviously,
it was all about Marvel.
well, it still is technically. And like, yeah, you could say like, yes, the MCU is the easy answer because that is a big part of the reason why so many of them have veered Marvel. But also, like superhero movies, aside from like Spider-Man and X-Men back in the day, like when we were growing up, were pretty few and far between.
Yeah, you'd get like a
We got
Batman every now and then.
yeah, we got all of our superhero fix from the cartoons on Kids WB and shit. And
Well,
obviously, being WB, it was all DC stuff.
Well, yeah, because when we grew up, like the Marvel cartoons were whatever. Like you had like the Spider-Man animated series, which was fine. You had the X-Men animated series; they were both fine, but like they were nothing compared to the DC animated universe.
Yeah,
which is
for sure.
That series of shows was the reason for so many DC fans back in the day. That DC was just more fun than Marvel at the time because Marvel had no idea what it was fucking doing. Yeah. And then DC fucking pooped itself during like the late 2000s and Marvel took over.
Right as the MCU was starting to get kicked off. So yeah, that kind of put them in a bit of a rut.
I mean, which amazes me too, because in terms of Marvel comics, the comics have been questionable for many years. Like DC hasn't been great. Like DC's been really good lately because they finally got their shit together. But when you think about like Marvel's flagship character is Spider-Man. Spider-Man since 07 has been like literally it's like the comic equivalent of reading Rent a Girlfriend. You're just fucking like torturing yourself every fucking year. Because goddamn Marvel, nobody hates Spider-Man more than fucking Marvel editorial. I swear to God, like that book is unreadable. It has not been readable for so long. Yeah, that's my issues with Marvel rant for this episode.
I also, after I finished Nightwing, I started reading Wonder Woman Earth 1.
What'd you think of that? Because that's got grade A Grant Morrison nonsense in it, which I love. But
I mean, I am like not quite a third of the way through because it's weird because it's not like based on issues; it's based on volumes. So it's like volumes 1, 2, and 3.
So the Earth One series they were designed to be standalone graphic novels. They weren't released in issue format.
Okay. So I'm still technically on the first one, but I only have like a few pages to get to the second one.
Yep.
But I mean, so far, maybe it's just part of the structure of how it was released originally, but it's a lot less disjointed than All-Star Superman was, and I am not having any trouble following it, and I'm liking the story it's telling so far.
It's a very interesting take on Wonder Woman because it's very much a throwback to like the original Golden Age Wonder Woman stories by Marston, her creator. A lot of bondage, a lot of bondage for no reason.
I noticed.
It is an interesting version of Diana. That's all I'll say.
No, it's fun so far. I'm enjoying the ride as it stands. But yeah, that's good. I still haven't gotten the first one yet because the way I had to order that, it's the shipping is going to take a little bit. But I have gotten in the first or the second and third milestone compendiums. I'm still waiting on the first one to show up. So there's only one more that is currently out, and then the fifth one comes out in July. So
nice.
I'm getting close, and once that fifth one comes out, that'll be all of the '90s stuff.
Nice.
And I don't know how much if they're going to continue going forward. Aside from Static, I don't know how much more came out past like the early 2000s.
I don't really know. Milestone is kind of a blank spot for me.
Because I know Static had a brief New 52 run.
A lot of people did, yeah.
But I don't know if any of the other characters got new runs.
I doubt it.
So, I mean, aside from... So now I'm wondering if there's going to be a sixth one or not. I don't know how much more content there is for all that. So, I guess we'll see. One thing that was cool, though, is when I got the first of them in, I was just kind of like flipping through it just to see, because I was curious how they structured it. And they don't have it like organized by like series. It's not like, however many issues of Static, then however many of Hardware, and so on. It's by the order that the issues were released. So like there'll be like a couple of this, a couple of that, back to this a little bit, like, and it'll go based on the date that issue was released. So it's taking the whole universe in order.
Nice.
Which is pretty cool. So, I mean, if I wanted to just read Static all the way through, it makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt. But if you just want to experience the entire Milestone universe, it's perfect.
Yeah. So. I've been my reading's been interesting. I've been kicking back into my my Flash reread. I just finished the Jeff Johns run that finally wrapped up. I forgot how dark that run got at points. Like there's like straight up a point where there's a point where Wally has his own like one more day situation where like he erases everyone's memory, because Wally had a public ID for the longest time, public identity. Then they retcon that out by Hal Jordan changing the world because he was the Spectre at the time. Don't ask, it was confusing. But
is that like a mantle that people could just kind of pick up? Like, so this what's going on?
The Spectre needs a host. The Spectre needs a host, and his original host finally moved on to the afterlife. Okay. And Hal was dead at the time, so they needed a way to keep Hal in the comics, but not have him be the Green Lantern. It was a thing.
Well, I was curious about that because in Crisis on Infinite Earths for the CW verse, they made Oliver the Spectre. So,
which is funny because one of the things Hal did when he was the Spectre was he was the one that brought Ollie back to life. Because Ollie was dead for a while in the 90s.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's like a whole story arc that Wally and Linda are having kids, and one of Wally's like allies got crippled in like a fight, and Wally wouldn't use the cosmic treadmill to go back in time and stop it from happening, and basically he decides to do it himself and becomes the new Reverse Flash, and basically he's like, Wally hasn't experienced any loss in his life, so I'm going to change that to make him a better hero. And he ends up basically causing Linda to have a massive like miscarriage, and it depresses him. It basically causes so much turmoil in their lives that Wally basically wants his entire like identity like erased from the public's memory. But because there's costs to changing reality like that, not only does everybody forget, but Wally also forgets he was the Flash.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and like so it takes like there's like a few issues of like Wally like not knowing he's the Flash, and like the world's kind of going to Keystone's going to shit. And eventually of course Batman's the one that figures it out and shows up, because of course he is.
Yeah.
And eventually
Well,
gets
good
swallowed.
detective.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some interesting scenes here going on. Like Wally and Batman have a weird dynamic because obviously Bruce was more with Barry because they were that it's that whole like age
They were
dynamic.
OGs. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole age dynamic thing. Especially, I mean, literally like Wally's best friend is Nightwing. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it goes into this whole like thing, and then there's like this whole the conclusion to it is crazy because it literally ends up with like they're going through like reverse the Wally's Reverse Flash goes back in time and gets the original Reverse Flash to team up with him so they can just constantly replay the miscarriage like over and over again just to torture Wally. Like it gets really fucking dark. But
It is pretty dark.
it gets to a point where then Barry not that the official Barry he's dead, but like Barry from like the timeline that version of Reverse Flash came from shows up basically being like, there you are, you need to come back, I've been looking for you. And they team up a little bit, and during the process, like at that point like Zoom, Wally's Reverse Flash basically decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna kill Linda and just make your life hell. And what ends up happening is Wally ends up stopping him by pushing him in front of the Reverse Flash that was doing the sonic boom that caused the miscarriage. He ends up pushing him in front of it, and it ends up blocking Linda from getting the blast.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it then causes a fucking time blip where Linda is in the hospital because of all the time shit, and she goes from being not pregnant to 9 months pregnant in like literally 3 seconds and is immediately giving birth.
Oh, jeez.
It's like the most like the doctor's like, what the fuck just happened? Like
that's some weird timey-wimey shit.
Yeah, it's a because it literally the way the paneling is like she's on the hospital thing, not pregnant, and then the next panel she's just straight up pregnant. It's like, what?
Jesus.
Yeah, so I finished the John's run. The John's run ends on a really good note. Like it actually like if you think of Wally's story starting from when he became the Flash in '86 all the way up to there, it's actually one continuous story, which flows really well. But I finished that, and then I just started reading because I've never actually read it. I started reading the Bart Allen Flash era because there was a very short-lived period of time following Infinite Crisis where Bart became the Flash because Wally was in the Speed Force. Don't ask.
Okay.
You'd have to read so many events to understand it.
Yeah. Probably.
But like, I'm reading this now, and so it's like they aged Bart up a couple of years to make him like old enough to be the Flash, and then they, rather than getting like a well-known writing team, they hired the writers from the 90s Flash TV show.
Oh.
It is some of the cringiest fucking writing I have ever read. Like I finished the first there's only 2 volumes. I finished the first volume right before we started recording. Oof. Like it is bad. It is arguable. There's a reason why that run got canceled after 12 issues. I've made it through 6, and like after 6 I was just like, woof. Like this is bad.
Jesus.
Like it is so mid 2000s. They use so many terms of like you can't say that in a comic nowadays. Holy shit. Yeah. So that's what I've been reading.
That's fun. Yeah, so anime wise, the only thing that I watched the new thing for this past week was Oshinoko. I watched that yesterday.
You're up to episode 7?
Yes.
So you saw the big fucking lore drop that just happened?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. Well, I mean, I wasn't. It was one of those things where I wasn't sure if it was going to happen at all. And if it was going to happen, I didn't expect it to happen like this.
Yeah. Like, so spoiler warning for anyone who's not seen Oshinoko, season 3. Aqua just straight up, like, reveals the fact that I had kids.
Yeah.
Like, just and like that.
And that they were them. Like,
yeah. just like that right out of nowhere, to the point where like everybody's like, "Holy fuck!"
And it's made pretty clear that he did not like talk to Ruby before doing this,
No, not at all. And it's unclear
which
whether
is
he
pretty
talked
fucked
to
up.
Aqua. Doesn't think about shit like that. Like Aqua legit only cares about one thing, and that's getting revenge. um,
Well, he was teetering for a while, like because he even had that moment of like, do I, do I deserve to live my life and just put it behind me or whatever? And then we saw the black star reform in his eye this past episode.
Also, Ruby's fucking like weird freakout she had in those last 2 episodes. I was like, what the fuck is happening at this point?
I was honestly like, with how deep Ruby has fallen so quickly, when all that stuff with Kana was happening, and like when they were at the beginning of the episode when they were all talking about like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna handle this? What, everything else, and everyone was like talking to her except like Ruby was kind of just off, and like every now and then she'd ask like a non-committal kind of question, like something that wasn't super personal, but like she was mostly staying quiet, and I was like honestly not sure if she was going to like be a huge bitch about it. Like I was on the edge, like I did not know which way she was going to go with that.
It's actually, is it kind of bad that I'm starting to get so I have not read this far in the manga, so I'm completely brand new for all of this. I'm starting to get the vibe that Ruby doesn't actually like Connor or Memcho that much.
Well, I think she did before. It wasn't until she got the black stars in her eyes that she started thinking of everybody as kind of tools. Like the way Aqua thinks.
But like worse somehow, because Aqua at least will pretend to care, or I think Aqua does care, just in his weird, fucking way. Because I think like the thing I predicted was him and Akane break up at the end of the episode.
Yeah,
I saw that coming because they were very much applying that. Although I don't think he's gonna get with Kana because I just don't think he fucking cares.
I think if it happens, it won't be until like post credits kind of thing. Like it'll be like the end.
I have a
long thing.
I have a strong suspicion he's not gonna get with anybody because this series is written so fucking weird. Because he's a reincarnation of Goro, he only has eyes for Ai, who is his mother.
But also his patient.
I mean, that's one thing. That's one level of weird. That's just a Japan thing. The fact that he's a reincarnation of that guy, as the guy as the woman he was in love with, child. Like this series is wild. That's all.
That's just one of the weird angles you could look at this whole thing through.
Yeah. I have a strong suspicion that Aqua's not going to end up with anybody because I don't think he actually is interested.
I don't think that's necessarily true. It's entirely possible that he will just end up alone, or not. Maybe. No, I'm not going to finish that thought because that's gross. But it's also possible.
I hope it doesn't go that way, but I don't think Akka's that weird of a writer. He has some interesting quirks to his writing. I don't think he's going to do that.
Let's hope.
Well, the series is over technically, so you got to be careful spoiler-wise.
But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing how things unfold from this point on. Because I wasn't sure about like I don't know. I thought it was weird Akane's like reaction to him being like, "Oh yeah, I bugged you."
And that was such a dickhead move from him, though. Like, really, dude?
Is it though? Because I mean,
I get it from his standard, but also it's like, really, man?
It's no less dickish than anything else he's done to manipulate people.
Yeah, he did seem to care about her though, to a degree.
He was also secretly giving people blood tests and shit. Like he was doing a lot of shady shit. Like bugging somebody who might be able to lead him to the person he's trying to find is like the least of the problems.
I'm just amazed she didn't figure this out sooner. But I guess she was in denial about it.
She had love blinders on, rose tinted glasses and all.
I mean, she still kind of does. You can kind of tell. Like it's going to be one of those things.
But now Aqua and Ruby can work together. But they probably won't.
Because, I mean, Akane is still best girl. I don't care what anyone says.
She's probably going to still keep pursuing
Yeah, I mean,
the goal.
just because Aqua told her not to doesn't mean she's going to.
Do you think Aqua had already decided to go down this path, or it wasn't until he saw Akane almost die the same way he did that pushed him over that edge?
Maybe it's. I don't know. The guy that pushed Akane, I still think is sketchy.
Oh, for sure.
That reaction was weird. Like I think we're gonna see more of that in the future. I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because it was obviously, on purpose, clearly, very similar to the way he died. So after seeing that and barely saving her from that, maybe that was like the final push to be like, no, I'm all in on this revenge thing. I'm not messing around anymore.
Yeah. This show is weird. This has been like, it is so fucking compelling, but at the same time, I'm like so confused while watching it at times.
Mm-hmm. It is an intense experience for sure.
There was no new episode of Slime this week. I guess they took a week off for whatever reason.
I still haven't watched the last one.
I'm kind of annoyed though because like I've seen like a couple clips of the upcoming episodes and shit's about to get really interesting.
Oh yeah.
Also, the most recent episode of Vending Machine just continues to be like, what the fuck even is this show?
Yeah, I'll watch it this week coming up.
There's a reveal at the end where you're just gonna go, cool. Like the most like disappointed, just cool. Sure.
Fair. It's about right. But yeah, aside from that, I have finished Legend of Tomorrow, so nice. Officially, all that's left is Flash. I gotta finish the season I'm on, which is like another 8 or so episodes, maybe 6 to 8 episodes, and then the final 13 episode season, and then that is complete.
Nice.
So it was an interesting run. Almost 5 months or almost 6 months of doing this. It was a lot. Also, by the way, Arrow's on Pluto now.
Hooray.
Yeah. So if anybody wanted to watch that, it's back on streaming again for free. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was an interesting run. But I am also glad it's coming to an end because goddamn, I need to watch some other shorter shit.
Yeah. Those shows all take a dump by the end. So
it was just a big commitment, and I knew it was going to be, and that's why I had to do it so far separate from when I did this huge run through all the MCU stuff. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do them back to back; that would just be too much. So
yeah,
I'm glad I did it, but I'll never do it again.
That's fair.
Like I might watch Arrow again. I might watch Flash again. I might watch Legends again. That's probably it.
Yeah. Nice. I guess now is a good enough time to hop into our topic.
Yes, I suppose it is.
So we're now doing the 4th season of Red versus Blue. Does this season have a subtitle or is it just season 4?
I don't believe any of the first 5 seasons have subtitles. It's not until season 6 onward.
Gotcha. So upon watch, this season was very much similar to the first one, where not a lot happened.
No, well, once again, it was very much like whatever story there was very clearly tailored specifically to Blue Team.
Yeah, because Red Team seemed very much here for comic relief.
Well, Red Team, by the time the season started, they were back in Blood Gulch, or Coagulation, as it's called in Halo 2.
Yeah.
And Blue Team was still kind of out doing their thing for a while. And Church came back earlier, but everybody else is still out doing their thing.
I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed by the actual reveal of what the alien showing up at the end of season 3 was.
Oh yeah,
I was like, oh, he's just here. There's no actual because they made it seem like that was going to be a big shock moment, and it was like, oh no, he's another comic. He's another comic relief character. Great.
He's just there so that we can have like a stupid fake, fucking RuneScape quest, and then just say, whatever, screw it, he's dead.
I mean, I did enjoy the whole joke where they're like, so what does this mean? All right, say that if this means yes. How do you know that means yes? Well, he just said it, but it could also mean no. Does that mean no?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, alien, does blarg mean yes? Blarg. Yeah, he just said yes, but blarg means yes.
Blarg?
I did love that. I also did love the, it was actually the same voice actor who plays Andy played the alien.
Which one?
Which is pretty funny.
Is Andy the bomb?
Andy's the bomb.
Okay, the bomb.
The bomb. Which is funny because Tex makes that same mix-up in the season.
That's fair. I did also like the joke of like where the blue was getting ready to head out, and Tex was like, "All right, you follow me. Don't mind if I do. Never mind, you go in front."
Yeah, yeah. This is the season where Tucker's catchphrase is introduced and is never retired.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember when there was a point in time where a lot of people were saying that. And I don't want to say it was because of this, but I'm sure it didn't help.
Refresh me. What was his catchphrase again?
Bow chicka bow wow.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't want to say that was 100% this. I think that was just internet culture at the time.
It could be, but I mean, this was part of internet culture at the time, so.
True, but I remember this from other places around that same time. So.
True.
So that's a joke that they ran past its shelf life and just kept doing. I'm assuming.
I mean, pretty much. So after Blood Gulch, or rather, the Blood Gulch Chronicles, the first 5 seasons, there will be points throughout the show where certain characters will be missing, and then they'll rejoin later. And Tucker is one of those characters. So like, there's points in time where he's in and out of the show. So he'll still do it, but it's not as consistent.
Because Church is like the definitive kind of like the de facto main character, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's him, and then who's like the red guy that's probably the main red? Or are they not even really main characters?
I'd say if you were gonna try and I'd say the combination of Griffin Simmons.
Okay. I'd
say it's them two together, because you can't really look at any of them individually and say that they are like. I mean, I'd say if you put Griffin Simmons together, you could make an argument. I mean, they were the first 2 people we saw when the show started. So
yeah, it's just funny because Red seems to just be 100% there just for comic relief most of the time.
Pretty much, they're like the chaos that just gets thrown into it.
Yeah. What's funny about Red is half the time they're just chaotic to each other. They're not even involved with whatever the fuck Blue's doing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love the whole like Simmons is crazy thing that they had going on.
Yeah. invisible tank.
Even though like they all know that there's a tank and that it talks and that it shoots. It fucking killed Church in season 1. It blew up their warthog multiple times. Like they've had dealings with this tank many times. So. It's just a stupid joke that they did. It just I thought it was so funny.
Oh yeah, because like they don't let it go. Like the whole time they're like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Crazy fans, who let him back in here?"
Yeah, especially because like right when it happens, they all admit to seeing it, but then like Griffin Donut just like, no, that never happened. We didn't see no tank.
Yeah, that was good.
Just plausible deniability. Just nope, didn't happen. I wasn't even in town that week.
I'm assuming most of this season was just setting up for season 5.
Pretty much. It's pretty much just getting everybody to the point where they're back in the canyon, and then season 5 is going to be like the big end to the story arc in quotes.
Yeah.
I did like also they brought back the whole like, oh yeah, Lopez has plans from Red Army in him, and then just how pointless those plans ended up becoming.
Oh yeah, because is he just perpetually ahead from now on, or does he ever get his body back?
He will by season 6. I don't remember if he appears in season 6, but I know after season 5 he will have a body again.
Okay. And then yeah, Doc is still running around, which is interesting.
Even though he doesn't show up until like the very end of the season, I forgot how little of him we got in this season.
Yeah, but he does have like one of like the best moments in the entire season.
Which one was that?
When he has the laser gun, it's like, careful, causes sterilization. Oh, that's okay. I wasn't planning on using that anyways.
Which is funny because between that joke and the whole like, oh, we'll send Andy in to treat Tucker or to check out Tucker because he can't get sick, it's just like, are we all just forgetting that Church is in a robot body? Like he's not going to get sick. He doesn't have a dick to speak of. So
does he stay in the robot body for the rest of the series, and does he eventually get his body back?
No, he's just robot.
Okay, makes sense.
And Tex are both robot.
Right. It makes sense in context. I mean, you never see anyone without a helmet.
Actually, yeah, it does, and you'll because I didn't want to get too into it, but a lot of the stuff that they are establishing throughout these first 5 seasons, a lot of it is going to get retconned, but in a way that makes sense in context.
Gotcha.
Because the big hand wavy thing they do to say none of that was real was just they were being lied to. What a surprise! The government is lying to us.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so I also love that at the beginning when Griff is like doing his freak out, like, oh no, we're back in Blood Gulch. When they all just start like shooting at him with the sniper rifles.
Yeah.
And Sarge is like taking 3 times more shots than everybody else.
Yeah.
I love that. Also, there was the one when they were like talking like after Blue Team had come back, and they were all talking about like, oh, what could possibly be making Tucker sick? It's like, oh, well, what's the sword? What's it run on? Like, could it possibly could that be making him sick? Is it like radiation poisoning? And then Caboose is like, what if it runs on solar power? She's like, why would solar power make him sick? Is he a Republican?
Yeah, I was like, that was a very. So this season was 2005. Understand.
That was a good one. That was a great joke. It's one that I didn't understand much when I was a kid, but now it's just hilarious.
Now you're like, yeah, W. Yep. Yeah, you can tell watching a lot of this. Yeah, this was 05.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is this because 05 going into 06? Is this the final season with the Halo 2 graphics, or is there still another one?
Season 5 is the final, and then in season 6, pretty much 6 through 10 is all Halo 3, where they do mix in some Reach in there too.
Okay,
but it's mostly Halo 3.
Gotcha.
Trying to think if any other like standout jokes, because the basic
Tucker
plot
being pregnant is probably one of the best running jokes.
Yeah. If we're just gonna give like a basic like rundown of the plot, is well, for Red Team, it's just them kind of getting acclimated to being back at Blood Gulch. There's the whole arc of Simmons is crazy, the tank isn't real, and then eventually he gets folded back into Red Team, and things are just the same as ever for them. And then Blue Team.
Why was he painted blue for a while? What's going on
there? Because I don't know, he just like was pissed off about being called crazy, so he's just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go live at Blue Base because it's empty, so I can just take it and be blue and just be an asshole.
And they don't question him at all. They're just like, whatever. That's fine.
Except for Donut, who doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah, that's fair.
That was another thing, is I love the joke where they were like, oh, Caboose, which one is he? The stupid mean one, the stupid annoying one, or the stupid one? And as he's going through the list and showing the different members of Red Team, like, oh, okay, they're just showcasing like, yes, we just have different versions of the same character on each team.
Yeah. The stupid mean one, the stupid crazy one, or the stupid one.
It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, for the Blue Team's like storyline is that they're trying to come into an understanding with the alien, eventually are able to communicate with it, he's got a quest that he needs to go on, and Tucker has to go with him because the sword is bonded to him, and they need the sword. So Tucker, Caboose, and Tex go on a quest, and Church says, "Fuck this, I'm out," and he goes back to Blood Gulch. They end up failing the quest, and then they all go back, and then it turns out Tucker's pregnant, and he gives birth to an alien baby. End scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where did it come from? I don't know. Don't think about
that
it.
Joke. That joke, I was like, where? And then it just happens like, oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love that. Like after it happened, because we don't see it obviously because they're just working off the engine or whatever. You just see like the outside the base with the audio, but we just hear like the little blag. Just like, oh god.
Yeah, that was something.
And there's a lot of fun stuff coming in the next season too that I'm looking forward to. Season 5 is a trip, and we'll have to make sure. See, do you want so for season 5 there is an alternate ending?
Okay.
Do you want to watch that ahead of time, or should we watch that together on episode? Because it's like 8 minutes.
Let's hold that until we get closer, and we'll see what our thoughts are.
Okay. Because there's a funny little, it's not really like a story, but it's a funny little thing about that alternate ending that will go with it. So
gotcha.
I won't go into detail about it.
So
I
was just gonna say I'm assuming season 5 will be more plot relevant.
Yes, there will be a lot more like plotty stuff. I mean, it'll also still be recognizably Red versus Blue, especially early Red versus Blue. But it will be trying to close out the Blood Gulch story arc.
Gotcha.
So we'll be getting some returning characters. There is also a 5-episode mini series between 4 and 5. Because at the end of the alien quest, Wyoming shows up. I think he's actually the one who kills the alien. And Tex chases after him, and that little mini series is her chasing him. Which actually is important, come to think of it.
Okay, so we'll have to make sure we watch that before. Well, I guess we'll watch it. We'll include it with season 5.
Yeah. It's quick. It's like when I say miniseries, it's 5 episodes, and they're like 3 to 5 minute episodes. So it's maybe 20 minutes total.
Okay, yeah, it's not bad.
But it is technically important to the long story.
Gotcha. Okay, yes, we'll have to keep that in mind.
And I also love the joke of like when Andy's going through like the path they have to take for the quest. Like, oh, we got to go to the Great Burning Plains, then we go to the Great Freezing Plains or whatever. And Caboose says, "Oh, it must be pretty wet plains in between." Caboose is actually pretty sharp throughout the season. Like, there's a lot of like those kinds of jokes that he like the Republican joke where he's just on point. It's like almost too clever to be in character.
Yeah. But then he also has his like really just dumb moments where he's just like, oh yeah, there's
hey Moose, high five.
Yeah.
You told me it was another arm. That was a funny joke too. Like I got left threatened with Texas while staring at the sword. Well, that's just a matter of penis. Opinion.
God, early 2000s humor was such a different thing.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Another one of my favorite jokes in this season was when the Reds were trying to kidnap Andy so they could have, because obviously Lopez is in Spanish mode, so for some reason the message from command is also in Spanish. Yes. So they needed to kidnap Andy so that he could translate the Spanish into English. And when they kept doing the switcheroos, like the Indiana Jones switcheroos to trick, because Caboose was talking to Andy. And then like at first he switches Andy for Lopez. And then he's like, "Oh my god, Andy, you're a real boy." And he's running through like, "We can go camping, we can go on hikes, and we can play tag and fly kites." And he's going through this whole thing. And then after Sarge realizes that he switched one thing that he needed for another thing he needed, he switched out Lopez for a skull. And he's
I love that line later. I love that line too later where he's like, "See, I have Andy here." And they're just like, "The fuck did you get that?" He's like, "It's Andy."
Yeah. Dr. Doc, save my friend.
I think that whole scene was like, what?
I love that whole bit that they do there. It's hilarious.
I just like how they're like, "Where'd you get the skull?" Like,
yeah, right. Trying to think if there's any other like real standout moments throughout this season. Also, they just kind of abandon Gary. They just kind of like forget that he exists and just leave him. Like they didn't even say goodbye to him.
Yeah, he just kind of
after Church spent all that time with him, he's just like, "Yeah, whatever. We'll see ya. Maybe."
Does he ever come back, or is he gone?
He does come back, yes.
Okay.
He's actually more important than he seems.
I'd assume so, because they really did put a lot of effort into promoting him as a character.
What did you think of Andy throughout this season?
He was entertaining. It was kind of
like the new character.
Yeah, it was kind of just like, it's a mom, and it's got a personality.
He's one of those ones, but we'll see him next season, and then after that, like, he'll pop in for cameos from time to time, and that'll be about it. He's not going to be a regular character again.
Yeah.
So I love the oh, go on.
I was gonna say I thought the rigging this season was kind of interesting. Like they did a lot of different stuff this time around. Now,
like,
can you play? Can you like play as an alien in Halo?
In Halo 2, yeah, you could play as
one of
the.
Because I was wondering how they got the rigging for that down. If that makes sense, then.
Because in the story mode for Halo 2, you're switching back and forth between Master Chief's storyline and the Arbiter's storyline.
Gotcha.
So, like, the alien you're playing as is technically the Arbiter who fought Master Chief at the end of that last Halo Legends special.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That is the character technically you'd be playing as in Halo 2.
Yeah. Now for like characters like obviously like Lopez's head and like characters like with the skull, I'm assuming that was all like they had to do that outside the game, or
the skull is actually part of the game. Skulls are like not cheats necessarily. They're like extra challenges. Like if you find the skull, it like adds an extra challenge to the game, or it might cause an effect. Like there was a skull in one of the, I think it was in either Reach or in the Combat Evolves remake. But like if you killed a grunt with a headshot, he'd blow up into confetti. Like it'd just do stupid effects. It would either do a stupid effect or it add an extra challenge to the game.
Gotcha.
But that's what skulls are. The wrench, that was photoshopped in. Actually, because I listened to the commentary, and I guess this was the first season where they started playing around with like actually photoshopping things that aren't in the game into the season. It's like they're starting to play with that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean they have to at times, just because you could. The problem with machinimas was you could only take it so far before you would run out of stuff to do potentially. Yeah,
and then obviously like the ship at the end is technically like it's a part of the game, but it's not something you can use. You know, it's that they had to like finagle to get that there.
Yeah, the ship crushing them.
Yeah, landing on Donut.
Okay, yeah, because I thought the effects were pretty good this season.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think, was there another? I forgot what I was gonna say before. But no, I mean, this was always like one of my favorite ones out of the old seasons. Just because it was one where they kind of put more focus on just a comedy rather than trying to like go deep into storytelling. Like obviously, there was like the little thing with the alien quest, but that was more of a joke than it was an actual storyline. And I think the whole like the sword is a key thing was pretty funny. I still find that funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I have to say
the whole caboose line too, where he's like, where him and Church are talking about the fact that the sword is a key, and Church is like, well, I mean, it is still a sword. It just happens to function as a key sometimes.
Yeah.
And Caboose goes, or it's a key all the time, and when you stick it in people, it unlocks their death.
Yeah, that was one of those lines where I'm just like, that is the cringiest fucking thing ever, but it's kind of funny.
It's very in character for Donut, though.
Yeah. Yeah, other than that, I have to say, like, one thing I was thinking about, it must have been a different vibe back in the day watching these as they were released, like, episode by episode. Because I assume, like, because you did that. I think of that with like watching like old Let's Plays back in the day, like when you'd only get them like weekly or so. You kind of had this anticipation for it, because then when you kind of marathon through it, it's a different experience.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm curious, because this is first time going through this stuff, what it would have been like. I was actually thinking I'd have to pace it out, probably maybe doing like a thing where I watch one episode a day to get the experience, but that would also be harder to get my notes together. It was a thing I was playing around with.
It's also like something that, because I mean, it's also an internet show. It was always an internet show, so especially before Rooster Teeth became like a fully established company at this point in time, they can say like, this is our hard release date, and then be like, well, actually we're not ready yet, so it'll be ready when it's ready. It's kind of one of those kinds of things.
I'm sure as a kid that was always the most annoying thing, when like the episode got delayed and you were like, no.
Well, luckily by the time I got into it fully, they were already done with season 5.
Gotcha.
And as far as I knew, that was it. So for me, it was just like, oh, I got this cool thing, and I'd occasionally find one of the DVDs at GameStop or whatever. So back when GameStop had DVDs, GameStop used to sell DVDs, kids. Believe it or not.
GameStop also used to sell video games.
Yeah, I know. It's shocking, right?
Now it's just a toy store that has video games.
And now they're just trying to buy eBay, and it's not working out for them.
Oh, they ain't buying eBay. eBay flat out was like, no, go away.
I was just listening to that episode earlier today. But yeah, no, I love season 4 just for that reason, just because it was more like focusing on just the comedy of it and the dumb jokes.
Yeah, no, it was fun. That was kind of the way I thought about watching it. Like, it was very. I had the same vibe as season 1, where it was just kind of like, there's a plot brewing here, but it was not the main focus.
Yeah, it was the same vibe as season 1, but with better writing.
Better writing, better effects, better recording quality. Because going back and watching season 1 again after, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot the mics are terrible.
Yeah. I remember what I was going to say earlier. I also love the joke they did with Vic when they because after Church had gotten back, and by that point Simmons was still chilling at a blue base with the blue armor, and they were doing the whole like who's in charge thing, and Church calls up Blue Command like as like a example or whatever, and then Vic actually answers. He's like, "Wait, it's been like 800 years. How are you still alive?" He's like, "Oh no, Vic's dead. I'm Vic's great grandson, Vic Jr." And then later on, like they did a callback to a previous joke where Jonah's like, "How could he have kids? I thought he had a vasectomy."
Yeah,
was something that was established earlier.
That's another joke that children watching this probably were like, "What?"
I certainly didn't know what that was at the time.
No, and then when you find out, your brain goes, "What?" like imagine being a child hearing about that, being like, "You're doing what?" like,
But no, as it is, I'm happy Happy with this season. Next season's going to be really fun. We are going to get a new character next season, as well as a few returning characters who we haven't seen in a bit. So that'll be fun. And it'll be fun setting up for what's to come, because from season 6 onward, while yes, it will still be stupid red versus blue humor throughout the whole thing, it is actually going to have a legitimate plot going forward from 6 onward. So it'll be fun to see where that goes.
Nice. All right. Well, that was a short but sweet episode. I'd say.
No segment today.
Nah, we're gonna take a break for a little bit from those. But yeah, I guess once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts all the major podcasting platforms. Be sure to check us out on Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site. Find a whole bunch of different podcasts, videos, blogs, all that fun stuff. Great group of people over there. But yeah, I guess until next time, guys, thank you for listening. We will see you all later.
Have a good one.